Hey everyone, today we are talking about business growth and avoiding burnout. And this is something that really today we're gonna go over a strategy that's gonna keep you from getting what some would consider burnout, which could cause a plateau in your business. And I know if you're in a business and you're wanting to not have any stagnancy and you're wanting to keep moving, you've got to keep those plateaus from showing up all the time, or you've got to at least know the strategy to break through that plateau if it arises. And this is something that, and I'm really talking about this, I'm really talking to myself here because it's something that having good people around you can help you get through, because when things arise, others can see what you're not doing that maybe you normally were doing when you were jamming and you were hammering and things were all clicking and you were making progress. They can bring that up to you and reinvigorate you and get you right back on track. So for me, something that when I look back across my whole business career, starting the business, making progress, I'd always talked about the strategy of kind of going through different little sections of my business as I kind of made one better and then moved on and then moved to the next and then circled back once I kind of got through that revolution, right? So what this has looked like in the past when I first started, and this is just, we're gonna make it specific to what I've done, right? Lawn and landscape industry. I started off with some base knowledge. I then went out and offered mowing services and base level landscape services. And that was kind of the beginning. Caveat to this, one side note, this really takes obsession anyway. If you want to make massive ground in anything, you can't just like, hey, I'm gonna do it. No, you've got to go all in and you've got to be obsessed. And so that's a side note to that's what this has taken me to do the things I've done. And then this is the philosophy that I've followed and sometimes got off track, but this is what's kept me from plateauing. So I'd get those base level things right and figured out and to the best of what I could and the ability of the business. And then once I started kind of like maybe getting bored with those, I don't know if it was ADHD or whatever it was, I would then shift to the next thing. So after mowing and landscaping base level services, it shortly after that became pavers. And then it shortly after that became fertilization and weed control. And then it became landscape lighting. And I didn't just like add the service, I became obsessed with the service and learned everything I could learn about it through reading and any information on a forum or a YouTube video or whatever I could scour and find. Before then, I would move to the next thing. I would add that in the business. I would learn everything about it. I would help train individuals on the team, and then I would go to the next thing, right? And so this is a thing that I've done all throughout my life. When I worked a job, I worked in the body shop, I was going and just fanatically trying to learn about welding, then fanatically trying to learn about fillers and straightening panels, then fanatically learning about priming and blocking and final straightening, fanatically learning about clear coat and base coat and paint strategies and techniques and things of that sort. That's what's allowed me to be self-taught on so many things, is my pure level of obsession when I get into something that allows me to really, really chew on it, get a lot of base knowledge, step to the next thing after we've got it good in a base amount of information, apply that in the company, step to the next thing, and then keep cycling through. So as the company's grown, it didn't just become about adding services anymore. It became about new, larger things, right? Maybe acquiring a company, starting another location, getting just ruthlessly interested in self-development to be able to lead others. Now I'm seeing another revolution of this and another cyclical cycle that now it's about leadership and not me leading. I mean, I need to continue being a better leader, but now the company's getting too big for me to just be the main source of leadership. It's going to take other leadership development, others, which we've always had, but now we need to step it to a new level and really push this thing even further. And so something that has recently happened to me is over this last year, 2024, it was a year in business where we just kind of got by. We struggled with selling new work. We didn't really grow as much. We had sections of the business that grew that allowed us to grow, but it was just not as profitable. It wasn't as exciting. And I look back and I realized, and actually I didn't. My wife is amazing. She's just a phenomenal person that gives so much insight. And that's what's great. You know, a lot of times people look at their spouse or someone that's not involved and they're like, man, what kind of insight are you going to give me? And I know that my wife's disconnection from the directness of the business allows for a source of insight that is almost above so many others, because she's so close to me and knows me. yet is so disconnected from some of the things in the business that she can give this awesome outside perspective. And she had mentioned, wow, we haven't really what's the new thing in business? You always have this thing that you're shooting at, and then you're relentlessly making progress at it, and there hasn't been something. And this came after I mentioned that I kind of feel like I'm aimlessly going. I'm not as excited about things as I've been. And it's not that I hate any of it. I still love what I do, but I'm searching for the excitement. I've been able to find that in triathlon and training and other things, but I'm trying to reinvigorate that in business, right? And so she mentioned, what about you've talked about expanding this location. What about the Naples location or some of the other stuff that you've talked about doing? And it clicked. Why haven't we done that? Why haven't we had just a small office or something started there to drive us and get us more in these other areas? Because the lack of excitement last year was a little bit of not lack of work, but lack of growth of the workload, right? To continue excelling and growing the team. Because the business isn't exciting if it's not growing, excelling, creating employment, new employment, and creating new opportunity. So this one piece is a new evolution. New levels have new devils, right? At first it was just services, then it was maybe buying businesses, and now it's about new locations and development of the business and leadership. So if you see stagnancy, that's probably a sign that you need to look at the new target, reevaluate the target, make sure you've got a clear vision, you've got a clear direction you're headed. I've lost some of the clear direction. I had direction on targets, but nothing that excites me. And that was the final piece. The reason that I went from lawn care to landscaping to pavers to fertilizer is all the new things excited me. Lack of excitement in what you're doing because of new interests can be so detrimental and can cause you to plateau without even meaning to. So this strategy, taking on new things, perfecting and honing in on those because they excite you and allow you to grow in the business, is massive and will keep you from getting stagnant in your business and not making progress, having that plateau, because that plateau can be extremely driven just by you not making progress, just by there not being something new. You should always be trying to look for new problems, go to a new level, find those new devils so you can expand yourself, you can expand your opportunity, and you expand your team and really your life. So I hope this video has helped you if you found a little bit of stagnance in the growth of your business, or this applies to any sector of your life, and you can plug this in and look for these things and really take account and maybe sit down and take some time with yourself and be like, where am I not excited about, and there's no new progress, and there's not a new mountain to climb, a new enemy to attack or chase or kill or whatever. If you like this video and this resonated with you, give this a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone that this can help, because if it's going on with me, it's just like anything else. It's going on with tons of other people, and I know this will resonate. So good luck, kick some ass, find some new enemies, some new mountains to climb, and break through those plateaus.